Woo. I mean, I'm excited. Every month we do these calls, and every month I think I'm not going to be nervous anymore, but I am nervous. I am honestly nervous. Sitting here with these amazing leaders from across the world, I feel so small, and I feel so honored doing this special call with you guys and with the incredible Mr. Juice Plus Simon Bowler.
Fantastic. Listen, we've got 4 superstars from around the globe again. Welcome if you're joining us for the call. We've got people from all around the globe. I'm just going to reel off some countries, which I've been writing down here with my shorthand. We've got the UK, with Ireland, Holland, Poland, Spain, USA, Australia, Canada, Germany, Norway, France, Dubai, Australia, Spain, Luxembourg, and Belgium, have I mentioned? I'm sure we've got a few more on anyway. So if I missed your country off, I'm sorry about that. But we are very global on this call today. So if it's morning and breakfast time in Australia for you, it might be lunchtime around in the States for you. I know, Loren, you're joining us in Las Vegas. It's midday for you over there. But welcome, and we're excited. I think, what is this, our 5th call or our 4th, Ernesto? I forgot.
I think it's the 4th call that we do. So we are really, excited, as you said, Simon, because every time we do these calls, it is gold nuggets, it is top tips, it is amazingly how we can see that this business is really a global business. And this is what excites me the most, being here. So I'm ready to rock and roll, Simon. I don't know what about you, but I am.
Absolutely. Listen, what would be great, actually, from everybody that's on, we've got, 540 odd people at the moment. Maybe just put in the comments what you are expecting from tonight's call. I mean, maybe you've been on one of these another time if you join the club. Put on what you're expecting, and it'd be great for our speakers to sort of look into the comments, maybe get them a little bit more nervous than they are. Maybe, okay, Ernesto, anyway, listen, I'll press the record button as well here. Let's just find out a little bit about who our superstars are tonight, and maybe I can kick off. First of all, going over to Canada, and we're joined by the beautiful Sandy Veilleux. Right, Sandy's been with the Juice Plus company since 2012, 9 years, and she is coming from Alberta. It's very cold over there. She's going to tell you in a moment. She's a thriving independent mum, yoga teacher, a lover of travel and personal growth. She believes that this business is a leadership development program with a compensation plan attached to it. I love that description. And she loves witnessing people step outside their comfort zone to participate relentlessly in their manifestation of their dreams. So welcome, Sandy. Good to have you on board.
Thank you.
Welcome,
it's so
Sandy.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I feel like I'm traveling, even though we're not able to do that right now.
It's called beaming, Sandy. It's called beaming. You're beamed into this. Suddenly, you're part of a big community. You're beamed into this group here.
I love it.
If I may introduce the next speaker, which is Katarzyna Sukta-Budryk. She is with the company 8 years, almost 8 years, I would say. She's actually loves the business and is passionate about the business. And also about the human potential, getting the max out of a human potential. Personal development, as I said, I've seen her on stage. She's an inspiration to a lot of people. She just hit PMD Plus last month. So she is a new PMD Plus in EMEA, which she's going to talk about. And she is, she's a mother. She lives in the south of France, on the Côte d'Azur. Who doesn't want to live on the Côte d'Azur? And I'm so happy that she said yes to this when I invited her to this call. And I'm so happy to have her. Say hello to the group, dear Kasha.
Hey everyone, I'm so excited, so happy, and so privileged. This is for me really an honor to be able, to have this opportunity to represent us, Poland, as a new PMD Plus. It's really amazing. And if you came for Golden Nuggets, you are going to hear from all of us tonight.
Fantastic. We're excited to have you, Kasia. And of course, you just gone PMD Plus as well. So that is it. Amazing success you're getting at the moment. On to our next guest speaker, who is the wonderful Loren Lohav coming to you from Las Vegas. I've known Loren for a long, long time, and we've had some unbelievable events with Loren in the past. You know, she's just full of energy, right? She's been in this business for 14 years now, 2007, right? She said no to Jeff Roberti for 17 years. I mean, what's going wrong with you, Loren? Say no to Jeff. How can anybody say no to Jeff Roberti for 17 years? But listen, we know you as well also as a great keynote speaker. I mean, you do some amazing things with the Anthony Robbins business as well. And of course, you know Tony for a long, long time. And of course, when Loren says yes to something, you know she's 120% in, guaranteed. She's just full of life. So Loren, welcome on board. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Simon and Ernesto. I'm beyond excited. This is, wow. Simon, isn't this a dream come true? When I think back to being in that hotel in London, I went like 17 people, maybe.
Listen,
about 10 years ago.
I think it was 2011, if I remember. Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm
very honored. And what?
Now, do we really want to know what happened in that hotel with 20 people? Was it in a hotel room or was it in a hotel?
Yeah, it was in a meeting space, but I'm honored. I'm really proud of all of you all that are here today. It's an honor to be with you here in Las Vegas. I mean, here from Las Vegas. I miss your beautiful faces and grateful for not just what this business has been able to do for me, my family, our team, but really just the sideline support, the sideline friendships I've created. I just saw today that it was my anniversary of my friendship with Emma, Emma Wilson, I guess it would be under now. But just so grateful for all of you and excited. Grab your pen and paper because there's a lot on here. But let's just also give lots of hearts right now to Ernesto and Simon, who have got our backs and really want to help us grow our business. So let's just acknowledge them as well.
Thank you very much,
Loren. Great to have you. Over to you, Ernesto, to announce our fourth global
our
speaker.
Next speaker. I mean, Kira Love. I mean, only the name is already. I think she's so passionate. She puts all the love into actually her biggest passion, she says, and that is growing her daughters being strong and independent women. She is a mother, a health and fitness professional, a PMD plus. Actually, she just last month, she had her 7th year in the company. So she is an amazing person from Australia. And she got up really early, and look how great she looks in the morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I'm so happy that she's here. She's all about helping families. It's all about helping and empowering women. And I'm so happy that she's here with us in this elite group of speakers, and definitely the right person representing Australia in this call. Thank you very much for saying hi. And thank you very much for saying welcome.
Thank you so much. It's the Juice Plus product. It gets me looking like this at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Kira, it's outrageous. You can't look that good at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's just not on.
You should make such good products, right? No, I'm really excited to be here. 7 years ago, I would never have been able to show up on the call. I was so shy and painfully shy and really very little self-worth. So it's incredible. Miracles can happen in this company. I'm so grateful for.
Kira, before we start as well, listen, can we let the audience into a little secret about yesterday? Please tell us.
I was so excited to get on and talk to you guys today that I actually got up 24 hours early to be ready. I was on the Zoom call waiting, but there was no one on here to talk to.
We were texting backwards and forwards.
The secret to looking like this is getting up 24 hours early, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I was texting Kira. I said, Kira, go back to bed. Go back to bed. Anyway, listen, let's get the show on the road. And I think we're going to start off with Sandy, first of all. But a great question for you, Sandy, to kick off. And this is really about clubs, of course. This is the focus about tonight's call, is building your clubs, which is building a solid foundation for our business, built on rock, not sand, as Jeff Roberti would say. And the question for you is, by using the clubs as this foundation for your growth, what long-term success impact does it really give you going down the line of your business?
Thank you for having me here. And it feels like I have to pinch myself to be with all these iconic powerhouses in the business to be able to share. I think initially when it comes to clubs, that's the first stepping stone to have a solid business for yourself. So becoming a club yourself is so important, whether you're doing the business just for a hobby, because I feel like there's two different kinds of people that do the business. Some are for a hobby, for some extra income. Getting to the club or becoming qualified is so important for the stability of your paycheck. And then people are doing it as business builders, and the business builders, it's the building block, because then you become a club and then you teach other people how to do that. And I remember a saying that when I got started, the teaching was, and I don't know who I can quote saying it, probably lots of people are quoted saying it, but it's that width is wealth and depth is insurance or stability in this business. And so it was always something that I connected to growing the clubs. And I'm not a numbers person. I'm not a detail-oriented person. Like, I don't think I fully grasped the compensation plan until I got to NMD and beyond. So if you're one of those people, like, don't worry, it's okay. But I did understand that growing clubs was a way that you could really grow your empire, essentially. And that's what everyone on here is wanting to do, is grow and build a huge, stable business. And so it was a simple way to look at, we have these promotions and you can be working towards them. But I think that looking at it as far as clubs go is like a goal within a goal. And it's a way that you can always make it about other people. So it's not about you, it's about them. And if you think of all the clubs in your organization, that's just the level of impact you're having with your business. So making that about people, and then also looking at it, it's a way that you can start to, when you're wanting to get to your next promotion and it could maybe feel like, whoa, I've got so much to do. If you kind of can narrow it down and look at the clubs, it's an easy way to make sure that you're getting to wherever you want to get to in this business. So that's a couple things. I think that building to 100 Club within a few years of getting into the business, honestly, it just set such a solid foundation. And now years later, I still have that solid foundation. Like my paycheck has always been solid when I focused on the clubs. And that's something that I just have to pinch myself, because especially what's been happening in the world, and as an independent mama, to be able to have that solid paycheck to fall back on has been like life-changing. I could be with my babies. I didn't have to worry about, changing everything to work from home. So it really is worth that focus. And then it's another place where you get to celebrate people. I think the more that you can celebrate your team and recognize them, the better. And so there's all different points of celebration. So becoming a club, getting qualified, that's a celebration. Becoming a 1 club where you teach someone else to do that, huge celebration for that. 3 club, 6 club, 12 club, and beyond. It's more ways to get them up on the stage where you can see them shine. And wherever you do that, if that's in your team page or if you do a team newsletter, the more ways that you can do that and celebrate people, the better. Because honestly, I feel like we'll do more for recognition and significance than anything else. So I feel like focusing on clubs is a really powerful way to do that and to let your people shine.
Thanks, Sandy. I mean, there's a few things I took down there, just a reminder of things that I think. Width is profitability. Love that one. Depth is your security in growing your clubs. And of course, duplication, I think, is key in our business. I think that's a big word, is you've got to be able to duplicate yourself going through that club structure as well. And of course, celebration and recognition, it's a massive thing in our business, let's face it. In the corporate world, it's usually the opposite, of course. It's the opposite way around. You get the blame game from your boss, right? Not the tap on the shoulder to say, well done. And that's what I love to think about the Juice Plus companies. Everybody claps you all the way to the top as you hit those club positions as well. Ernesto.
The things that resonated with me was definitely the solid paycheck. That is definitely something that people want to know about. Okay, the clubs, then you need to be club first in order to duplicate it and show it to the people. Thing that I also put in there, time to celebrate. Everybody wants to celebrate, right? Nobody comes to Juice Plus and wants another job. They want to be part of a community. They want to be part of something bigger. And this is what you can show with the club and build that with the club. And I love the way you said that it's all about celebrating another way to celebrate. Yes, you hit club 1. Yes, you hit club 3. And so that definitely resonated with me. Thank you very much, Sandy, for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
So let's go to Katarzyna. Katarzyna, you just actually hit the pinnacle position of PMD Plus last month, right? And we celebrated that, I would say also in a big group, and it was emotional and it was a great journey. So I want to ask you the journey that you took to become PMD Plus. Do you have maybe some key 3 takeaways from that journey that everybody should actually can duplicate in that journey?
Totally. I mean, my journey was not like the others, right? So I really want you to dive into and listen and read between the lines, because what I'm going to say to you is that you don't have to be perfect to one day become PMD Plus. You don't have to be the best in sales. You don't have to be the best in recruiting. Because I saw people asking, how can I give me some tips about recruiting? Give me some tips about this and that. And guys, with all my love and respect, and I'm going to repeat what everyone repeats about success in this business, I have one tip. And this tip is your mindset, is your personal growth, it is working on yourself before you're working on any others. Why? Because I can tell you only from my own perspective, and you have to again read between the lines, because my journey is my journey, and it's not the only one. It's not the rocket science that's going to lead you to success. You can build your own way to your success. But what I can guarantee you, this is that if you work on yourself, if you work on your mindset, you can learn anything else that you would need in this business to become successful. Why? Because, well, I'm talking to you today as a PMD Plus after 7 years in the business. Okay, I wasn't the fastest, for sure. There are faster growing leaders, but I did it my own way, with my ups and downs, with my learning, with me becoming me today. And what I can say to you is that thanks to commitment that I had, thanks to personal growth, and thanks to Juice Plus that has challenged me every day to become 1% better, every day. And with my mindset and not giving up attitude, with the winning attitude, with the attitude that I don't know how, but I'm going to do it, with the attitude of asking yourself a quality question. No, oh my God, why I can't recruit, I can't sell, is to ask yourself, okay, sorry.
Go on.
Is to ask yourself, well, what can I do better in order to have my first sales? What can I do more in order to attract people to me? What can I learn? Who else can I ask advice from? And all this, keeping your mindset, being open-minded, being teachable, being resourceful, is your key to success. Because I can promise you, about sales, do one customer and you're sure you can do hundreds of them. About recruiting, think of it. Who recruited you? What was the key point that attracted you into the business? And then analyze it and do more of it. If you were attracted by this kind of message or lifestyle that the person showed you, probably you will be the best to pass it forward to any other. So do more of it and attract people to you the same way. But if you want a practical tip, if you want to be better at sales, if you want to be better at recruiting, you have to be convinced about what you are doing. You have to be convinced about product. You have to be convinced about the business opportunity, and then do repetitive actions. Go for no, because if you're going for no, you are by default going to hit your yeses. But no, it's not going to be that painful. So my practical tip about recruiting and building business and everything is, first of all, then really work on yourself, because if here you are strong, you can do anything. You can hit any objection, you can crush any nose and everything. And so if you have issues with recruiting today, establish a list of 10 advantages of this business, why it is so good to be with Just Plus, why it is
What are you doing
crisis-proof.
with it, Elena?
It's just the timer, that's all.
Sorry.
No,
So establish a list of 10 arguments that are going to help you to build yourself the vision of why it is so bulletproof way to build the life of your dreams. Why? You know, if you have this list of arguments, you can talk to anyone and answer to the issues they have. Because some people, they will need more money. Some people want more freedom. Some, when we are open, would like to travel more. And if you have all these arguments, you know, as asses from your pocket, you will be ready and nobody is going to surprise you. So that is really, remember, you don't have to be the best. You just have to stick to the plan, keep your mind, you know, focused on your goal, keep your vision also, be visionary. What do you want? And then never, ever give up on your vision, on what you want to achieve. And even if it's hard to believe today in yourself, as I started this business, I wasn't the same Katarzyna that I am here today. But someone once said to me, "Champ, I believe in you." And this message just hit my heart and gave me the strength to go for it, and not knowing how, but go for it and go for it, and you know, fall and race, whatever, but just go and get it. Tiger attitude is the attitude that is going to lead you to the top. And then don't complain if it's sometimes a little bit tough. Sometimes it's really tearing you out of your comfort zone, because my dear Han, you are going to the top. You are climbing the mountains of the success of your life. So sometimes it is painful. Your legs are going to be hurting, but I can guarantee you the view you are going to see after all this, the person you are going to become is the biggest treasure you can offer yourself. You can offer your family. You can offer anyone who is going to cross your path, because you becoming 1% better every day is you becoming the person you are meant to be in this world. And you are not serving the world by playing small. So face anything that universe gives you. Just face it, go for it, and have faith. If life hits you hard, it's because you're a tough girl. You can do it, you can handle it. You have everything in you in order to overcome it. Just stick to the plan and never give up. So I will probably, Ernesto, you have to keep the timing.
Yes, I was just all good. I mean, we're still in the time. I mean, there's so much that I wrote down. I cannot, because it takes me 5 minutes to recap this, right? Some things really stuck with me, and it is that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be the best in everything. What I loved also what you said is that work on yourself first, because before you start working on other people. This is a little bit like in the airplane, right? When they tell you about the mask, that you need to put on the mask first before you help others. It's all about that. I love that very much. Never give up. This is what Bear Grylls said also in our global event, NGU, that is never give up, always go for your vision. I know you are a person that actually doing that. And then with the energy that you put it into, that you believe in yourself. I've seen you on stage when you were like a QNMD or an SSC, and look where you are right now. I mean, this is definitely some gold nuggets coming your way, and I'm really looking
Ernesto,
forward
you can
to the next
confirm.
one.
Right?
Yes,
you can confirm that you don't have to be the best,
100%.
but you can learn everything, right?
True.
So take it with you guys today. Sorry for cutting you.
Simon.
Fantastic, Kasia. Yeah, congratulations, Kasia, on going PMD Plus as well. What a superstar you
Thank
are.
you.
I took a few things down as well. I mean, belief is a big deal, of course. Our business is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And what I heard at the end there was the view from the top is absolutely amazing. You just got to stay in the game. Fantastic. And by the way, you've got so many fans as well saying, "We love you, Kasia. Kasia, you're amazing." I mean, yeah, I'm just looking at all the chat going on there.
Yeah, me too.
Let's go over to Las Vegas to Loren. And of course, Loren, like I mentioned earlier when I introduced you to, of course, you've been part you've been part of the sort of Robbins Foundation for years and years and years and years. I mean, you pretty much started with Tony in the early days. I know you've just done a podcast with Tony. Tell us a little bit about, I guess, the stuff that goes on in those events where people are looking for motivation, inspiration, and everything else that goes with it. But what are the key fundamentals that you teach people, right, where they can become this better person, which we're hearing tonight, better belief, better confidence in themselves? And what do you see people becoming in themselves when you see them, when they start in those types of events, and also when they come in the Juice Plus business?
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Simon. I just love what all the ladies have been sharing here and been taking lots of notes here, because I think there's always something to learn from everybody. So everybody should have a journal in front of them. The first thing that I'd say, there's a great principle that Tony talks about, and that is called the triad. And the triad is your physiology, like how you stand, how you move, how you move your body. And so I want everybody to take a check-in. I want you to check in real quick, check in with your physiology, because what you're learning right now, it shouldn't be you just sitting back, like laying on the bed. You should be in what we would call a peak state. And, but that you should check in with your physiology and look at, like, how are you sitting? Are you sitting proud? How are you standing? How do you move through the room? When you walk in a room, does the room light up? Or when you leave the room, does the room light up? Right? So physiology is an important thing. Second thing we talk about is focus, right? Where focus goes, energy flows. You've heard it said, there's no new information, you guys. You just got to take what you learn and see what really does that. But I will tell you, focus is probably one of the most, physiology and focus. Look, and even in the chat, rank yourself. If you were to give yourself a number on a scale of 0 to 10, think about your physiology when you talk about the business, when you talk about who you are, when you talk about your mission. What is your physiology on a 0 to 10? 0 being not so good, obviously, and 10 being outstanding. Like, I don't know that I'm a wired hair terrier. I don't know that I'm 5'2". I think that I'm 6'7", right? I don't know that there's any difference. So loud and proud, I would say, first of all, is important. And then the second thing, once again, is focus. Are you focused on that you're going to build a strong business? Are you focused that you're going to build an international business, that you're going to help, thousands and thousands and thousands of people? So this, what I would just say, once again, like, do a check on yourself. That's the most important. You can't track what you don't measure. And then the third is the language. What is the language that you use for yourself? And I see people when they come to events, they think that the event's going to change them, right? The event's not going to change them. We say, what did you do after the event is more important than what you do at the event. So it's awesome that you're getting these golden nuggets, but what you choose to do with them is the most important thing. And think about, like, when you said yes to this, or think about any dream that you've ever had. Remember the dream. Because I think what happens, unfortunately, is reality sucks us back in, right? Reality, people go, what? You're going to do what? I remember Simon, you saw it happen with me when I said the business, I'm like, I decided, I remember sitting in a conference and I said, I'm going to build an international business. And everybody goes, well, hang on, Loren, wait just a second. I'm like, well, why wouldn't I build an international business? I know people in other countries, right? Why wouldn't I share it with them in Canada, in the UK, in Australia? Why wouldn't I do that? So be careful not to be sucked back in. Let me know if that resonates with you. Give me an amen if that resonates with you. So once again, as being in the personal development world for 31 years, yes, 31 years, longer than some of you have even been alive, there are patterns that people run. And they, lots of times we say, people will do anything to remain consistent with their identity, even if it sabotages everything that they want. So your identity and how you show up in the world, maybe it's time for you to do Jeff's a great example of this. He was doing really, really amazing, obviously, in the business and in the industry. He's like, but it's time for Jeff 2.0. Think about for yourself right now, is today a great day for you to decide new me? I'm going to decide what I'm going to have, and I'm going to order it up. But I see way too many people get stuck in what we call seminar soup. They go to an event, and then they don't do the action afterwards. So that would be the very first thing I say. So yes, I think it's very, very important. You can't ask someone to do something. We always say that you can't take somewhere, you shouldn't ask somebody to do something unless you've been there yourself, right? So I would say embrace the suck. There are things that are going to suck. I'm going to tell you, right? I am not the best. I will be very, very honest about this. I am not the best at the pay plan. I am not the best at a lot of things, and especially even in this business. But do I believe in the mission? Do I believe in the company? Do I believe in the product? Yes. You know, when Tony asked me to launch Life Mastery, this is a story that I think will help everybody. And it was going from a program with 3,500 people to an event that he wasn't even going to be at. I was going to be in Fiji. I'm like, Tony, there's so much to learn. There's so many, you know, there's so many manuals. There's so many videos. You might be feeling that way with regards to our business, right? So I was like, there's so much to learn. There's so much to learn. Like, why did you choose me? And Tony said, there are people with more skill. There are people that have more. He said, but I brought you here because I knew you'd take care of these people. So I'm talking to all of you right now. How many of you love people and want to help people? Just take care of everybody. You don't have to learn anything else. They will feel your enthusiasm. They'll feel your commitment. They'll know who you are. So I think that, you know, be nicer to yourself is what I would say to yourself. But the other thing is also be tough on yourself. You know, I mean, I know in my life that I am walking my talk, that if there was a camera following me around all day long, I'd be proud of who I am. I'd be proud of the activity. I give them business. And so this is not just about, when we say how you do anything is how you do everything. So look at your life. And, you know, like I said, for people, the people that just go out there and do the do, if you would, and lead from the front. Your job is to get to the front of the room as quickly as possible, but then to pass the mic. Then to pass the mic. I learned this from Lisa Grossman. I love what she said. You know, she's like, pass the mic. I want to teach other people to do it. It's cool that I'm here, but let me tell you what's cooler. It's cool that I'm here, but you know what's cooler? Is seeing Kira here. You know, to know that because I said yes, Linda said yes, and, you know, Adam said yes, and it's much more exciting for me to see her here. You know, it's more exciting to see that, you know, she's being honored for her work that she did. So think about who's the next person. Don't think about just you getting to that position, or what can you do to help somebody else in some way. So I say, embrace all the stuff, lead from the front, look at do a check-in with yourself of your physiology, your focus, and your language, and decide that you're going to do a new, whatever 2.0 or 3.0. So I hope that's helpful. I hope I didn't go too long.
Of course you didn't. I mean, listen, everybody loves to hear you, Loren. I'm a big fan of yours, always have been. And of course, you're just somebody that just takes massive action as well. That's what I love about you. You know, you go out there.
Yeah, it doesn't always work, Simon, right? Like some stuff just doesn't. It's okay, you guys. It's okay. I can't tell you how much stuff that I've tried and I've been like, oh my God, did I really just do that? And I'm like, all right, next, what am I going to try next? So there is no right way to do this. You got to do you, but you follow, it's simple, but you've got to follow that's what Jeff, and I just want to say one other thing. Jeff and Cheryl, I remember I'm so creative. I can do this and that. And I'm like, hang on. They're the top woman and the top man in the world for the past 30 plus years. I should probably follow what they say. And they kept it very, very simple for me. Very simple. So if you're beating yourself up, make sure that you keep it really simple, you know, and you don't have to do it fast. You just have to be consistent. So.
Exactly. Few things that came out of that for me, just to look back on there, was don't get caught in the seminar soup. I love that one. Yeah, lots of people you see have got like a seminar virus. They go to so many seminars, but actually they don't do anything with their life apart from go to the next seminar. Another one is check on yourself. You can't track what you can't measure. Love that one as well. And I think probably a big one to come out of this, which will be happening from your sponsor, there'd be, would you sponsor yourself? That is a great one as well. So some great stuff. Ernesto, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much, I was not able to write all of that down, right? I mean, the nice thing is that what Tasha said, that you don't have to be perfect, you don't have to be bad, you can suck, as Loren said. This is definitely something, everybody finds their own way. Pass the mic, guys. I mean, I've seen so many people write that into the comment. There was like a click moment that you need to run to the front of the room, but then pass the mic. I mean, there was, yeah, inspiring. Thank you very much, Loren, for those answers. And Kira, to you. The question for you is, we all know about the basics and the income producing activities, that we all should do them on a daily basis. Could you tell me what does it mean for you, income producing activities, and how do you pass that on to your team, Kira?
Absolutely. Well, I think by far we can all agree that the biggest income producing activities is definitely talking to people, building rapport, and following up, and just doing that over and over and over again. This is a network marketing business. Our job is to network. And don't let that scare you if you're an introvert, because I was so shy and such an introvert when I came into this business, and I've learned to enjoy it. And I've also learned some great hacks around it, which I'll share with you in a moment if you're an introvert like me. But our job is to talk to as many people as possible and help as many people as possible, and to never go into management mode from that. The person who talks to the most people wins in this business. You could talk to 100 people in the next week, or you could talk to 100 people in the next 6 months. Imagine the difference in the momentum of those two businesses. And I'm not here to tell you which one you should do. This is your business. You get to choose how fast you want to grow, but you do have to be real with the results that you want to achieve and the action that you are willing to take. I look at conversations like planting seeds, and my job is to be a seed planter wherever I go. And not only am I planting seeds, I'm also watering the seeds behind me so that I can build rapport with people. And the cool thing about that is understanding that different seeds take different germination periods. So I was a 3-year watering process from Linda, my upline, and she watered me and our friendship with no expectation to the outcome. And I never in a million years thought I would join this business. And in that, moment, in the 3 years of watering, there was a moment where it was relevant to me, and I did. And she just always kept that door open for me. So remember, this is a 4 to 5 year career. All of your seeds are not going to sprout in the first week. You have to have that long-term vision and be unattached to the outcome and be that conversation maker. And it's really about making friends first and showing up without that expectation, just being of service to others every single day. And I think that's what I love most about this business, is you literally become a better person. We are so self-involved often in life. And that was me before this business. I was so self-involved, and not intentionally or consciously, but this business has taught me to be more conscious and present to others and how I can serve others every day. And I've learned to be of service. And as a consequence, that has driven up my confidence and my self-worth, because I'm not just focusing on myself. So there are different ways that you can network. You can do that face-to-face, or you can use social media. They're the two main ones. And social media is definitely my zone of genius. I call it attraction marketing, because what I've tapped into is people come to me and generate the conversations, because I know how to draw them in through the way I post. And I just want to share a few quick tips around this so you have something that you can take away. You need to understand that people are driven and motivated either by pain or pleasure. So we need to understand how to share the benefits of what I believe we have two products. One is our health related products, and our other product is a business opportunity where we can help people create an income from home. So you've got to get good at sharing the benefits rather than what they actually are, and listening for people's pain so that we can present the solution at the right time when you're invited to share. And I want to give you a really clear, concrete example. We've got lots of different countries here, so I'm not sure where the COVID pandemic thing is for you in your country right now, but for Australia, it was bad last year. And my business grew significantly during COVID because I got resourceful and I understood what the pain points were, and our company was perfectly positioned to address all of the pain points. We are a health-related company, and people were worried about their health. We are a company where we get to help people create an income from home, and people had lost their jobs. We are also a community where we empower people to stand in their greatness and to see possibility. So I was showing up on social media with all of those solutions in a way that added value. So regardless of whether what people wanted that solution through this company, they wanted the value that I was sharing. And that helps to grow your following as well. So remember, we have those two products, a health opportunity and a business opportunity. People don't necessarily know they want Juice Plus, but they know they want better health and they know that they want to make more income. I don't know anyone who doesn't want those two things. So the clearer you are on those two missions and what your personal mission is associated to those two products, the better you are and the more confident you are with sharing it. The example of mine is I'm passionate about helping families build healthy food cultures in their homes, and the Juice Plus products are one of the vehicles that I use to do that mission. My other mission is to empower women to find their voice, their self-worth, and their financial independence. And the Juice Plus business model is one of the tools that I utilize in order to help women do that. So getting clear on how to speak your mission allows you to then show up on social media with value ads that drive those two missions. And once again, you're watering your seeds. Not everyone is ready for those products, but they're ready to hear the value that you have to offer. So one of my favorite ways right now is Instagram stories, because you can, it's interactive, it's creative, you can tell a story, you can educate about our products in an indirect way. So making smoothies, showing your day, living the mission, and showing people how you do that, educating them on the benefits. One thing I will say to wrap this up, we'll probably run out of time, but make sure you do your social media compliance training before you tackle this, because otherwise, yeah, I don't want to get in trouble for anything that I've said. But you can follow me on Instagram and see how I do this if you like. It's I am Kira Love.
Thank you very much, Kira, for sharing that. Yeah, so many top tips in there, even practical tips about the stories. So I really love that. Yeah, talk to the people, the follow-up, the watering of the seeds. I think that is so important. You said it's a long-term business. You want to have a business that you are going to be proud of in 3, 5, 10, 15 years from now, right? That definitely resonated for me. Do it for the right reasons, right? I mean, really share it. I can really sense when you talk about this that you really care for the people, that you really want to do this because you want to make an impact into people, into their lives, and empowering people and empowering women, for instance, for example, though. So I really, really like that very much. And I'm looking forward to actually to the next question I have for you, but that is coming later. So now back to Simon.
Thanks, Ernesto. By the way, yes, I've got to say a couple of things I got out of that. Don't get yourself into management mode. Very important. Another one was use the law of averages to your benefit. And I think that's a huge one. I know, Loren, you do that one. And Jeffrey Bertie would say, it's called Sinaloa, safety in numbers and law of averages. And of course, Instagram stories, I think, is a big deal at the moment. Let's face it. I mean, Ernesto's all over Instagram stories all day long. I just see him. He's all over there posting stuff. He's an internet sensation. But some great stuff there, really, really was. And let's maybe go now on to our last round of questions. And I'm going to start with Sandy again, coming over to you, Sandy. What would you say to everybody on here listening to this Zoom call? What should they focus on in 2021 right now in order to have, when they look back at the end of December, to say, do you know what, 2021, that was an exceptional year. It was absolutely unbelievable for my business. What tips can you give there, Sandy?
Okay, it's probably not going to be the conventional tips that you would think. And I'm just, again, I just have to say, I'm sitting here fangirling so hard with all these ladies, and their answers are so powerful. But I think number one is something that is really helpful for me each year that I do is I think of a theme for my year and I make it a word or two, and always it's so like magic when you look back on the year and see how so many things happened in alignment with whatever your intention you're trying to draw in. So one year it was confidence, one year it was growth. This year for me it's discipline and commitment, and it's just hilarious how the world kind of shakes that up and it starts to come into your way, so that you have to kind of step into that intention. So if you don't do that already, it's such a huge thing to do. So after this call, take some time, get quiet, think, what is my theme for the year? And just setting that, it's cool to see what shows up. And the other thing, if you focus on nothing else, so we have access to the most amazing trainings for the how-tos. And if you might feel maybe that you're in your business and feeling like, I'm just not getting where I want to go and struggling, 100% it's down to belief. So I know it was spoken about today that you need to have the belief in the business. Coming to these calls really is one huge way that you can get lit up about that, belief in the product, but ultimately it's belief in yourself. And 100%, it's like your limiting beliefs will 100% guarantee limiting results. So if you can focus on shifting that belief, honestly, it will change everything. It's not, you don't need to do another thing where you learn how to do this, that, the other. It's if you double down on your belief. And there's some little tools that I do to help reframe that. So the next time that you are going to reach out to someone to maybe for a product or for business, and you hesitate, you have that moment of hesitation, stop right there and then get curious. Ask yourself, what's the hesitation? What's the poopy story am I telling myself? Oh, they're gonna, think I'm just trying to be pushy, or they are gonna reject me. And then follow that back with, what are you making that mean? Are you making that mean that you're not a good person, or that you're not competent with this business, or you don't have the best connections? And just examine it and notice what these little subtle limiting beliefs, these little stories that we tell ourselves are, so that you can then flip it into a reframe and you put it into kind of a light-filled positive story where you can shift out of that subconscious limiting belief pattern and step into where you want to go, like in a higher vibration. And when you shift that, then when you then go to make that connection, to make that reach out, you're going to have a totally different energy that you're bringing to it. And the response, the thing that you're going to get back, is going to be shifted for it. So when we have these kind of like subconscious limiting beliefs, they start to impact the ways that we reach out and the results that we're getting. And then we get to be right about that limiting belief. We get like evidence that, like, see, it's true, or, oh, I won't be good. And then we can stay in our little poopy place. So that's like, when it just go into that reframe, that for the next year, every time you catch yourself in that resistance or that hesitation, get clear, see what you're telling yourself. What's that underlying story? What are you making that mean about yourself? And then do it into that reframe. Another thing that's like, I guess maybe a bit woo, I'll say, but something that's been so powerful, because I feel like the simpler the tools, the more you'll use them, and the simpler the tools that you can use in everyday life and moment to moment living, the more you're going to use them. So one of a simple shift that I've been working with a lot, and our team's been working with a lot, is when you're in that, I'm going to call them poopy stories. That's going to be my hashtag, I guess. When you're in that story and you're saying that, whatever that track is for you, or I'm not good enough, or I can't raise leaders, then you just put it into a sentence like, I'm going to destroy and uncreate the story that I can't create leaders, or I'm going to destroy and uncreate the story that I'm not going to be good at this business. And then you flip it into the question, into what would it take? What would it take to attract business builders that love and see the vision with Juice Plus? What would it take to get to PMD Plus? What will it take to get to my next level? And you flip it into the question. And just by doing that, you can already feel a lightness in that when you put it into the question. And then it also gets your mind working for you. So in that, when you flip it into the question, you're going to start getting all these divine ideas. And the biggest thing is, don't be an asshole about it. That's what Catherine Lee says. So you flip it into the question, what will it take to get to the next level? What would it take to get, 5 new customers this month? What would it take to get February to be my biggest month yet? And then you're going to get these ideas. Oh, message this person. Oh, do this little live, or do this reel. And you don't want to be an asshole about it and not do anything with it, because then the ideas won't keep coming. So make sure that when you've asked the questions and you get those ideas, you then you act on them. And I promise you, things will start to shift. So look into your poopy stories, see that you can really understand them, where they come from, do it into a reframe, and then do that destroy and uncreate this story. It's no longer serving me, and then put into the question, what will it take? And honestly, it's just like you do it so many times in a day, you'll be so shocked when you see it. And then you're going to hear your friends having a conversation, and you're going to hear them speak that story, their poopy story, and you can be like, nope, stop, destroy and uncreate that. Let's flip it into a what will it take? And it's just a powerful, simple tool that you can do all the time when you're working with your belief. And I feel like if you do that for 2021, things will shift big time for you. And then lastly, I would just say, never lose the spirit of repetition. Like, you guys, I've been in this business 9 years, and I still get on team calls and I'm just as excited. Like, I'll tell my story again, and I'm just as excited as I was when I signed that application. So if you can always keep that spirit with you, then people feel it, man. So those are my unconventional, energetic tips for building this business and shifting your beliefs.
Thank you, Sandy. We've still got people joining this call, by the way. There must be some smoke signals going somewhere and saying, listen, around the world, get on that join the club call. I keep emitting people all the time. Some really great gems there I got from you. It's actually believe in yourself. Of course, limiting beliefs give you limiting results. I love that one. I love the bit about poopy stories as well. What poopy stories are you telling yourself in your mind? And then, of course, I think we all know this one. It's the mother of repetition, of doing that that income-producing activities, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, that give you the results over the time. Thanks, Sandy, for that. Over to you, Ernesto.
Yes, thank you very much, Sandy. Also, some notes that I put down as well. Of course, believing in yourself, that is clear. A theme for the year, why not, right? Everybody coming out of the Zoom, what is my theme for this year? Think about that. I think that is a great tip there. Keep it simple. I mean, we've heard it all the time, but it is like that. Keep everything simple. Show up and use the trainings. Everything is out there. You just take it and use it. I think that that was definitely something that resonated with me. Thank you very much, Sandy, for that. Katarzyna, your second question. And by the way, I think we're definitely going to be overdrafting the time here. I think we're not going to be ready in the next 5 minutes. So I will
Not
be
with us on the call.
checking the numbers here. Yeah, if we see numbers dropping in the 5 minutes, then these are definitely not the leaders of the future, because it's not always about 1 hour and then I'm gone. It's all about getting the value, putting the notes in, and show up and stay here as long as we need to stay here. So, and there's definitely some great stuff coming your way. So, Tasha, you build a big international business, and what I would like to know is what does it take to build an international business, and more important, how can you keep it growing, this international business?
Well, funny story, I will start with a tip, because many people just come into the business and they know one person here, one person there, and they want to build a business, all over the world. And that's great to keep the vision. But I would say, first, prove yourself that you have cracked the code of the business in your mother tongue, in your mother language. Because from my own perspective, and that might be my limiting beliefs, but experience showed me that it is a bit of a business, of a work to run international business, big business in one country and another country and any other that comes. So unless you cracked, you manage the basis, customer, client, and your head, your leadership at a level that you feel confident, then I would say go get a tiger, open the doors to any other country. Or other excuse to this might be just find the person which is going to open the market for you. Because if you are in the starting process of the business, if you are in the learning and you jump into one tap of water and then to another, at the same time, it's hard to keep your balance. And I can tell you, it's beautiful, but it's hard. You have two different teams. You have to, everything is twice. You need to do Zoom calls on this market, another market. This is one culture. Excuse me. I'm still there, I think. Okay,
Yeah,
this is one
yeah.
culture. There you have a little bit different culture. There you have to, support this team and you have to support other team. So at the end of the day, just to say, I have only two well developed. I have two countries and I have two agendas, two to-do list and everything. So you need to be a little bit in the rhythm in order to manage. I love the tip from John Holowati once, who said, until you go to your NMD, don't bother about any other market. There is enough space for you in your home country. Or you can try to do it like this. I started with a foreign language, with French, but then you have to be ready to face it from every perspective. So I built actually French market for my upline Eddie, who is not speaking French. It's possible also. So that's why I say you have two choices. But if I was to start today, I would first really crack the code in my language where I feel comfortable. When I have it in my vein, it is in you, how to communicate with people, how to understand them, how to get connected to them and everything. And then when you feel comfortable with then now people are running, then you go other way. And what it takes to continue building it, my God, is the team. I must tell you that I don't know how I did it, but I have attracted so beautiful souls to my team that are actually taken most of it and they are doing it. Or we are doing it, but they take like really most of the things that are happening. They just take the leadership and they take it. And I say in Poland we have Alexandra, Dominika, Katarzyna, Karolina, Paulina, those are souls, my husband also, that are really every day, and we can not be always agreed with everything, but we can say the things and take it over. And it's not taking ages and nobody is like pissed off after the call. We're just, okay, let's find out what is the best solution for the market, for our team, for Poland. And same for France. People, leadership that you are going to create is something that is going to open you the door to bigger business. But in order to support this leadership, you have to first work on your leadership. Is, being yourself the example and searching for solutions. And the most, I think, now I'm a little bit lost. It's too many messages that I would like to say. But the more you learn about yourself and about a human being, the more you're going to understand it, and the easiest is going to be work with them. Because people will go through stages. People will go through emotions, through life happenings and everything. And you will have to be there to support them. And if you take your ego, oh no, she is annoying me or something or that, you are not going to be sustained leadership team with them. You have to somehow work on your ego, understand the ego of any other person, and then take it out of the context and just look at the person as a human being that is emotional being, is going to be ups and downs, and it's going to sometimes angry, said something. Okay, you just take a breath in, take a breath out, and you have this vision. What is very important, I think, is to have established with the team values, core values, what our team is about. What are our values? And if you are not compliant to our values, that probably is not the best place for you. But be clear about it and choose the kind of team, the kind of changing world team you want to bring to the table and you want to spread to the world. And I can tell you, if it's resonating with you, you're going to, have arguments, you're going to drink champagne together, and this is going to be fun. So yeah. Just not to make it too long, that would be the tip from me.
Thank you very much, Kasia. And no, I mean, it was not too long. It was a lot of great tips in there. I liked what you said, that you need to crack the code first in your own language or in your own country. People sometimes like to think, oh, I need to go there, I need to go here, but there's so much potential that is still within their own market. So I think that's go get it, Tiger. I really like that one, go get it, Tiger, go out there and do it. I love that. If you don't do it yourself, find the person that actually is gonna go to that market and do it, and establish the culture, establish the values first in the team. I think that is so important. Yeah, good stuff in there, and definitely from a person that is actually walking the talk. That is amazing. Thank you very much, Katja, for sharing that.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Big thing I got out of that, Kasia, actually, and I think I'm a real massive believer in this one, is actually think global, but act global to start in this business, right? As we know, it's expensive to jump on planes and go and support your team and all this lot. Wait till you get yourself to NMD, first of all, before you start globetrotting around the world and spending lots of money and burning up time. I think that is some really, really good advice as well, which we hear from John Holowacki all the time.
And you know what? First is to look really around you. Do you have people to help next door? Before you jump on another country, look if there's not someone who is needing you actually next door or next floor.
That's it. Usually the pot of gold is at our feet, isn't it? Let's face it. Let's move over to Loren in Las Vegas again. Loren, last question I've got for you here before we move on over to Kira again. This is a great subject that I love as well. And I know you're going to love this one as well. It's fear, right? False evidence appearing real. And it's something that really holds a lot of us back in life. Let's face it, it really does. And I'm sure there's a lot of people on this call tonight, right, which fall into that sort of same bucket. What tips can you give everybody on this call that really got issues with that's holding them back, that really can unleash them? There might be one thing that's coming out of your mouth tonight that they go, I've got it, I'm going to go and do this.
Yep. Well, this is a favorite of me to talk about. First of all, I want to tell you, share something. There's only 2 fears you're born with. Did you know that? Only 2. Let's get active in the chat here, y'all. Only 2 fears you're born with. The fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. That's it. Those are the only 2 fears we're born with. Every other fear that we have is a learned fear. So I found a couple quotes and I wanted to share with them about fear. It's like it says, we can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy is when you are afraid of the light. Once again, we can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy in life is when you are afraid of the light. Pluto said that. So think for yourself, you really do gain strength and courage when you just literally, you literally look fear and say, thank you very much. But the only way out of it is through it. I pulled a book up. If you haven't read this book, and I marked a couple pages in here about this, it's called That Will Never Work. I wonder if anybody knows who actually wrote that book. And then I'm going to tell you, because he was very fearful. His wife told him that'll never work. How many of you have been told that, oh, that business will never work? But get active in the chat. Let me know that you get active in the chat, if you would, and tell me. And let me tell you a little bit about this book. This book called That Will Never Work was written by Mark Randolph, who is the co-founder and first CEO of Netflix. And you know who told him that that'll never work? His wife. His wife is the one who told him that'll never work. So for me, the biggest thing about fear is it's not, you said at the beginning, it's not real unless you let it become real. And the real growth happens when you just go through it. When you, yes, they are still married. They are still married. Because a couple of things in the book about this that I wanted to share is that the basics are the same, you guys. The basics are the basics. Everybody's scared. Whether you're starting in this business, where you're becoming a parent. I mean, oh my gosh, how many of your moms on the line? I was scared, but I knew that baby was coming out. I didn't know how it was going to come out, but I was going to take that fear and use it as power versus letting it be the shackles. So in this book, he talks about, having the basics, being a product of the product, ready to launch. In here, there's going to be times when you're going to crash, right? Another thing they said here, that, the principles for success. Don't be afraid to make decisions when you have the facts in which to make them. Be open-minded, but also make sure that you give at least 10% more than you're expected to give. So I would say for fear, it's only real unless you decide that it's real. And you can say, thank you, I'm scared, acknowledge that fear, but how are you going to take it once again? Use it as your power and not to hold you back, because, you don't think all of us are nervous? I'm nervous every time that I'm on a call. you know what, I get fearful at times, but I just go, okay, how can I take this and use this to grow who I am, who I become? And then I just go do the work. Do the work. It's even if you're scared. I mean, how many of you don't know, you do it every day. You drive down the highway every day. You don't know if someone's going to come across into your lane that day. If you thought about, oh my gosh, what if somebody comes across my lane? Oh my gosh, what if somebody comes across my lane? Oh my gosh, the whole time that you were driving, how would that serve you? Right? So I think that you just have to, one, just surround yourself with people who believe in you, like all of us do here on the line, and remember the truth. You're going to hear that. You got to tune that noise out, and you got to remember what got you here in the first place. Remember that dream. And the last thing I'm going to just share is I normally do a boot camp, as you know, Simon, you were going to come over, I think, for one, and we do a board break. So here's what I'd love for you to do. I'd love for you to write down on one side of a piece of paper, just what's your biggest fear? Write down what's your biggest fear. And on the other side of the piece of paper, I'd like for you to write down, if you broke through that fear, what would that represent? What would be on the other side? So someone just share real quick, like, what are your deepest fears? What are your deepest fears? And then write down a big, just a big circle on the other side. If you broke through that fear, what would be? Would it be joy, abundance, community, amazing business, whatever that it is? So write down, this is your exercise. What's on that one thing I want to break through, and decide that you're going to break through it. However, we can help you break through that fear. What's on the other side? You're going to be rejected anyway. You're rejected every day. We're all rejected. Who cares? They're lost. They need us more than we need them. When Jeff Roberti came to me for 17 years, I rejected him for 17 years, but he had a belief in himself. The belief was that I needed him more than he needed me. So that belief, people are going to reject you. Who cares? Whatever. Get strong, get sound, whatever. Next, Cheryl Cortese always says, you imagine there's a long line of people to infinity. They say, thank you very much. No, I'm not interested. Move on out of the way. Thank you very much. Not interested. Move on out of the way. Thank you very much. And then, but when someone goes, I'm ready, then you lock arms with those people. You're going to fail. Embrace the fail. What does that really mean in the first place? Think about what's on the other side. And the final step that I would say to get you to get fear out of the way, and you're going to do it on the side of the one with of what you're embracing, is I'd like for you to go, if I broke through this fear, or when I break through this fear, who am I going to dedicate this to? Dedicate my success to. See, good. I've been there too. I was building my business, and then I went through a divorce, and I went through the recession. I lost everything. And I'm like, when I was the best in my business, when I was growing my business the most, especially when I was hungry. And I'm like, I got this. I'm going to be a great example for other people out there that you can do this with 3 kids, that you don't have to change your lifestyle. And you know what? And I dedicated it to my kids. I made my kids the reason and not the excuse. We hear it all the time. You're going to hear it lots of different ways, but you've got to embrace it. And remember, if we can forgive our kids who are afraid of the dark, the real tragedy is when you are afraid of the light that's within you. So I would have you look at that fear, stare it in the face, say, thank you very much. I acknowledge you. I got this. I got the community. I've got the company. I've got the support. I've got people who are cheering me on. I got great products. Move the heck on out of the way. I got this, and dedicate it to someone else. So I hope that's helpful.
Thanks, Loren. Fantastic tips there. And I'm hoping that subject on its own tonight, right, actually just unleashes a lot of people on this call, where actually fear is no longer going to be holding them back. And there's a book I read actually years and years ago by Susan Jeffries, which is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. It's a great book. I mean, I can really recommend to get that one. But as Loren says, you've got to look fear in the eyes and face it head on, right? Do not let it hold you back. Some great tips. Ernesto, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, we need to move on. First of all, I really want to say that, as Loren said, give 10% more than is expected. Everybody here is giving 10% more than expected, right? The people that are still here, the 627 people, still people are actually joining this call. Our leaders are here more than an hour. So it's all about giving 10%, at least 10% more than what is expected. So I really, really love that. stay hungry, wrote up there, just do it. Yeah, don't be scared. And what Simon said as well, look fear in the eye and feel it, yes, but then do it anyway. I love that. So let's go to the last question, Kira. And I know you're ready to rock and roll here. Kira, the question for you is, it's all about excitement, right? I mean, how do you bring fun, especially fun, also an excitement into your team, into your business? Can you share some tips for the people that are maybe new here as well? Can you share some of that? How do you do that in the team and into your business?
Yes, absolutely. I do that by consciously building an addictive culture. Consciously. Do not let your culture be created by accident. Your culture is everything. And one of the most important things you do as a leader is to create and manage culture. I actually think it's the second highest paying activity to talking to people, because this is how we keep people in our organization. So how do we do this consciously? You really need to be aware of the 6 human needs, and also to define the reasons why each individual team member has been attracted to this, because we all have different needs at different times. And if we can meet at least 3 of those needs, then they will fall in love with this culture, be excited to be here, and be absolutely addicted to it, just like I am. So each person will find a different need exciting, and it's important that you have awareness on all of them, but also that you are showing up to meet all of them. And I'm going to run through them and give you some tips and ideas. The way that I see my role is, how many positive touches can I give each team member as quickly as possible in this business? Because when you think about, I think about my journey when I joined, I think I quit about 5 times in the first week. I got my first no, that was a negative touch, right? My bank account got charged, that was a negative touch. But you know what? The positive touches far outweighed that. The community, the love and support, the connection, the reward and recognition, just receiving acknowledgement and being embraced was such a positive experience that it outweighed those negative experiences. So there are 6 needs people are driven by. The first one is love and connection. And this one is obviously the oxygen of the soul. And I think most people come into this business, the 80% are here for love and connection, because we have such a beautiful community. It's like a family. It's like a home. And as a leader, I consciously do different events. During COVID, we took it all online, making sure that people felt connected. We do a lot of community events that aren't even specifically about Juice Plus, just I'm passionate about serving women, but bringing women together in a space where they feel supported, where they feel raised up, and where we celebrate them and their growth. The next need is significance and feeling special. So people want to feel needed, worthy, a sense of importance. They want to feel seen. The best way to do that in this business is just acknowledging people, like making sure that you're reaching out and connecting, but also rewarding and recognizing. And you want to reward and recognize absolutely everything, even just doing your first post or doing your first conversation. Make sure that people feel recognized, because most people go through their whole childhood never receiving a certificate or an award. And we really get to heal those wounds here and make people feel special. The next one is certainty. So people have a need for stability, consistency, safety, comfort. For me, when I joined, certainty was a huge driver for me, because I had so much financial strain and a lack of certainty in myself and my surroundings. So I think my community, there was a certainty in how I would feel in the community. There was a certainty in the leadership and how they showed up for me. And I also created a certainty in the income that I was able to produce for myself. The next one is variety. So surprise, challenges. I run challenges for my team all the time, like really driving up that excitement and adventure. Obviously, we're not traveling right now, but travel is a huge adventure variety thing that we get to do from this business. Parties, we just have lots of fun. Growth, so constant emotional, intellectual, and spiritual development. Human beings have a need for this in order to feel fulfilled. What I love about this business is your business will only grow as you grow. So if you get stuck at a certain level, embrace the challenge. Know that you're going to get stuck along the way, and your business will not grow until you are ready to ask those quality questions. How can I move through this challenge? Who can help me to move through this challenge? What do I need to learn right now in order to level up? And if you can find a way through, around, under, over, you will keep moving forward. And that is the greatest gift that I have received from this business, is who I have become along the way, because no one can ever take that away from me. The last one, which is massive, and this is when you really come into yourself, and it's that service, that servant-driven leadership mode, it's contribution. And human beings, in order to feel truly fulfilled, again, we have a need to be part of a greater purpose beyond ourselves. And this drives up our self-worth also. Now, what I love about Juice Plus is not only is it about making an impact, but Juice Plus also has a lot of different contribution elements. In Australia, ours is called Nutrition Plus, where we help underprivileged children. I know that there's different ones around the world, but the company really stands for contribution on many levels. And if you're not driven by scarcity because you need to make an income, you might be here from inspiration. How much can you contribute? For me now, I'm inspired. That's why I drive now, because I'm not in survival mode anymore. I'm inspired to make a difference to women the way this has made a difference to me. And that is the best purpose and fuel that you could ever use. So I believe Juice Plus is completely addictive, because we meet every single one of these needs at an extremely high level. And that's why I'm obsessed with this, because it's not just a business, it's a way of life. And I think if people are leaving the business, it's because we're not showing up in the leadership to do a good enough job to help people connect in with these needs and see that their needs can be met here.
Ooh, I mean, there's great tips in there, and I really appreciate you sharing that, and the way you say it, you really walk the talk. I said here, love and community, that is 80% of the people. Why are they with Juice Plus? And I think everybody can just sign on that, because this is what makes Juice Plus so special. That's why we call it the Juice Plus family, right? And the growth, I mean, if you don't grow, your team don't grow. This is also the thing that the marketing plan, the steps that we have in a market plan, it's not only about the volume and the structure, it's also that the person you need to become in order to go into the next position. So I definitely love that. And yeah, what a closing speech, Simon.
Unbelievable. I think the big thing, Ernesto, that came out of that for me, and I think it's a huge one for what's happened with this pandemic, it really is it's the love and the connection of that Juice Plus community. And it's that bubble that we've all had hanging over us, where actually we can just feel that little bit safer by getting together with that special Juice Plus community that's carrying us through these really, really hard times when we've been in lockdown, we can't get out and see our friends and our family, and we just get that real nurturing feeling from our friends within the Juice Plus community. So it's terrific, it really is. This call's, of course, gone a little bit longer than expected tonight, but you know what? There's been some real amazing golden nuggets that's come out of it. I think what Ernesto and myself would like from you is if you can put into the comments, what have you got from this call tonight? But also one thing that you are going to do now in your Juice Plus business. It might even be starting tonight, right? You're going to start from tonight or tomorrow, that is going to make an impact for your Juice Plus business going forward from this call. That would be great. Ernesto, over to you.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is what Loren said as well. It's good to come to an event and be at the event, but more important, what do you take with this value? And I have 3-4 pages of value written down just for me, and there's so much thing that I need to digest and think about. And I'm 27 years with the company, and every time I think I've heard it all, but I still not have heard it all. It's always, if you're the smartest in the room, you're in the wrong room, right? It is. I mean, I'm so inspired by these amazing leaders that we have in the Juice Plus company, no matter where they come from, south, east, west, north. I mean, they are amazing. And I think we can all be proud of the leaders we have. And also I must say, the people that have stayed in this Zoom, I think it was only 30 or 40 people that left after the clock went to 10 o'clock my time, which is great. So that means that everybody wants to learn, everybody wants to take the next step into the next level, and we're better than to be in this Zoom and with these amazing leaders. And I'm looking forward actually to the next Zoom, because we already know when the next Zoom is, Simon.
Yeah, very excited, Ernesto. 27 years in the company, Ernesto. He's still a spring chicken. Look on this call. He's got lots of energy tonight. The next call, mark this one in your diary. It is Wednesday, the 24th of March. Ernesto's bringing this one up now. Look at these speakers we have got for this call. He was bringing it up. He's going to come back up again. Right, we have got the unbelievable Dr. Mitra Ray, right? The amazing biochemist that she is. We've got Zvonko Kirkik, is a really good friend of mine I've known over the years, right? And I seem to meet at a lot of parties in Juice Plus. I don't know why. He's going to be on from Canada, representing Canada. We've got Kate Goller from Australia, another great PMD is joining us. And we've got Ross Fanari from EMEA, 28 years with this company. Lots of amazing stories. So mark this in your calendar, please. It's going to be a great call. Get your team onto this call because, like I say, there is so much sensational information shared by these 4 global leaders we get each time that is going to be destined to help change your business moving forward, guarantees. So it just leaves us to say thank you, and we'll leave Ernesto to do that job, to our speakers.
Yeah, thank you very much to our speakers. As I said already, I was excited from the beginning, and what you've seen in the chat, everybody's so appreciative, everybody's so happy, made so many notes, and I really want to say thank you to each and every one of you. It's all about sharing is caring, and this is what you did today. And also thank you very much to all the people that joined in. And these meetings are definitely a must for everybody. So I can only say, be there on the 24th. It's the same time as where this meeting was. We always do it during the same time. And yeah, take some notes, take your books and stuff like that, because you need to write that all down. Again, thank you very much to our amazing speakers. Thank you very much, Simon. I always love doing that with you. And we see each other on the 24th of March in a month. Thank you very much, and good night, good morning, or good evening.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Stay
Bye-bye.
safe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a
Lovely.
nice one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you all.
Thank you.
God bless
Bye.
you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Because police now
Yes,
say is going to investigate the case.
you are amazing.